One problem that I've come across when I have taught and coached trumpet players, including experienced pros, is that they have clear and consistent articulation, which is good, but when they try to articulate a lot of notes in a row, their tongue is slow and it feels bad. So if the music that they're playing stays at a nice, comfortable tempo, there's no problems. But if the music gets faster and they have to articulate faster, their tongue feels slow and heavy and it makes everything harder and it just doesn't feel great and it can be stressful to perform this way. There's a number of different solutions you can use to do this. You can practice exercises like ones found in the Arbin book and try to speed them up gradually over time. Or maybe you could get really good at double tonguing, so good in fact that you could actually double tongue slower and bridge that gap that way. In this video, however, I want to share with you a simple drill that you can use to speed up your single tongue so that if you struggle with this yourself, you can develop more confidence over time. The exercise that we're gonna cover in this video, I believe is attributed to Chris Gecker, who teaches trumpet at the University of Maryland. When I say that this exercise is simple, I really mean that it's simple. All you're going to do is tongue 16th notes consecutively for a minute straight. You might be able to guess this, but I call this exercise the 1 minute drill. I know, it's pretty clever. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna start by setting a metronome for a tempo that you can definitely be successful consecutively tonguing 16th notes in a row for a minute. If you're unsure of where to start, maybe pick something from the 80 to the 85 beat per minute range. What I usually do is wait until it gets to 10 seconds and then I begin playing my 16th notes one after another, just da 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 over and over and over again until you reach 1 minute and 10 seconds. You can obviously stop to breathe, of course, but try not to wait too long. Take your breath and see if you can get right back in there and keep articulating. To get the most out of the 1 minute drill, I recommend breathing in a relaxed manner each time that you breathe, and do your best to create as effortless a sound as possible. You want to keep your articulation as clear and as consistent as you can so that we can hear each of these articulations, but we also want to play as legato as we can so that we can drive home really healthy airflow habits when we're playing. I think the reason this exercise is so effective is that it's simple enough that you can definitely play it at a high level, and it really does give the tongue a good workout. Now, while you might see an immediate increase in single tongue efficiency or just how good things feel, to see these gains in actual tongue speed, moving past tempos that you couldn't do before, you're gonna have to do this consistently over a long period of time. So here are two different ways that you could think about how to progress this exercise. Option number one is that you're gonna play the same tempo each day for an entire week. Then you're gonna bump up the tempo by 1 BPM every single week and just do that over the long term. If you were able to stay consistent with this, you would have a 52-week BPM increase over the course of a year, which would take you from our potential starting tempo of 84 beats per minute, and it would end you at 136 beats per minute. which would be literally insane. Option number 2 is that you would bump up the tempo by 1 BPM every day, and then when you hit a plateau eventually, you would drop back down to the starting tempo that you began at and then work your way back up again, hopefully going past that plateau the next time. For example, if we started at 84 beats per minute and you were able to increase the tempo 1 BPM every day for 10 days, you would get to 94 beats per minute. And then let's say when you get there, it just becomes too hard. You can't really do it. Well, the next day you would drop it back down to 84, and then you would just do that process again, and hopefully you'd be able to get to 95 next time, or 96, and then you would drop it back down, and you just keep doing that cycle. The first option has a slow and steady kind of appeal to it, so if you like that, that's definitely gonna be the option that you wanna choose. And then the second option, you get to progress faster, but instead of just hitting your plateau and redlining every single day and potentially driving bad habits into your playing, you're gonna be able to bring it back to a better tempo where you can always be enforcing, or reinforcing rather, that effortless playing we were talking about. Or you can do whatever you want, because I literally just made those two things up off the top of my head when I was scripting this. So as long as your plan is something you can follow consistently, it makes sense to you, and you're playing with good habits a majority of the time, you're probably gonna be fine. If you're at this point in the video and you're thinking to yourself, that sounds awesome, but forget doing a whole bunch of articulations. I'm struggling just to find consistency with the very first attack, and I don't know what to do about that. If that describes you, I would encourage you to click the video on the screen where you can see how I would address that problem, and we will see you in the next video.